Hello and welcome along to the Keepmoat Stadium in Doncaster, the next stop on the Lionesses World Cup qualifying campaign. Now, England are still in control of their destiny thanks to one woman who had a very special day on Saturday.
And of course, it's Ellen White. She was always going to find the net. Wonderful finish. He's getting closer to the all-time record. He's White, and that's simple for Ellen White. Ellen White, the record draws nearer. What a servant she's been for the national team. But there is no doubt that Ellen White is going to break that all-time scoring record for England.
A brilliant day for Ellen White, winning her 100th cap and scoring her 45th goal for her country. And she is just one away from equalling the all-time record. Now, the Lionesses have travelled south from Sunderland to Doncaster to another area with a rich history in the women's game and home of the famous Doncaster Bells of the 80s and 90s. The Keepmoat Stadium is the venue for tonight's match against Latvia, the team they beat 10-0 last month. Serena Wiegman will be hoping for more of the same, and kick-off is just 45 minutes away. Let's have a look at the Group D table then. Here is how it stands at the moment. England top the group. They played 5, they've won 5. They've scored 33 goals. They haven't conceded a single one yet. Northern Ireland, they're second. They played one more game than them, beating North Macedonia 9-0. That one was on Monday. A reminder as well, there are 9 groups. The 9 group winners qualify, and then there's 3 more teams that have the chance to qualify through the playoff positions. Wow. Okay, let's get into it. Alongside me, Anita, Asante and Ian Wright here to keep us warm. It's a bit chilly here, isn't it, Doncaster? Lovely to have your company, guys. Ian, it's your first time in Doncaster.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Like 12,000 people come out here today. I'm really looking forward. It's a brilliant place to have the game for the ladies. I'm quite excited about today's game, so we could see some goals, that's for sure.
Absolutely, we could actually, last time it was 10 now, but actually in the last England game against Austria, didn't have it all their own way, did they, Anita?
No, Austria really came out thick and fast and tried to make it difficult for England, forcing a save out of Mary Earps as well, but England in the end were able to break the deadlock and score a really good goal. Okay,
more from you guys in just a second, but we can have a little look at how they're lining up tonight. It's 3 changes to that starting 11 that played against Austria. Beth England, Georgia Stanway, they're added to the attack. Lottie Wubben-Moy, she makes her first England start tonight. She slots into that back 3, but a rotation as well. Fran Kirby, Rachel Daly and Demi Stokes all on the bench. And Millie Bright, she remains England captain in Leah Williams' absence. That's a hamstring injury still keeping her out. Serena Wiegman obviously picked a very attacking lineup tonight. Let's hear her thoughts. She was with Katie Shanahan.
Serena, 3 changes from Austria. What do you want to see from the new players coming in tonight?
Well, we're playing a little differently, so we play with 4 up front, and so in every line we have another player, and actually I want to see a good game from all the players, including the 3 new ones.
Were you tempted to make more changes, bearing in mind it's going to be harder to experiment next year against Germany and Spain ahead of the Euros?
During the game, what you mean? Well, we'll see how the game goes. Now we'll start, and of course we want to play well, we want to score goals. And when the game's going on, we'll decide what we do.
And today's going to be Beth England.
The history, the Bells, of course, and rich history where they have won championships and they did really well at the highest level. And lately, the latest years, they haven't been in the highest competition.
Last time England beat Latvia 10-0, so how do you make sure that England learn something from this game?
Yeah, we just we had a look at some of the clips of last game. They didn't have another game in between when we played them there. We learned from that. We even want to be more accurate, keep the collaboration good, keep the speed of the game high. So we really have to make the game. That's what we want in Latvia too. The circumstances are better now, so we want to at least score at least as much goals as we did away.
And finally, Ellen White starts and is on the cusp of breaking the goal-scoring record. How keen are you to see the Ellen White and Beth England partnership up front?
Yeah, it's of course the space will be small. They drop deep very quick, so it's hard to find the space. But we do think there is some space. They just have to scan all the time and to look at each other and have opposite movements and things. But I think that's for the whole team.
Thanks, Serena. Good luck tonight.
So she wants even more goals, or at least 10, which we saw last time out against Latvia. She's made 3 changes tonight. Did you expect a little bit more rotation, Anita?
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see the changes in the side, because we've talked about how good Lotta and Georgia Stanway and players like that are for this England side. But given that they scored so many goals against Latvia previously, it'd be a great chance to just watch and see what other players can bring to the side.
Well, that's it. There's some fringe players, Ian, that perhaps want to get involved that haven't been involved yet.
Well, yeah, I think you look at someone like Jordan Nobbs, you'd like to see, for me, I know that she's played Ella Toon and Fran Kirby as like the two in front of like Kira Walsh, but I would like to see more midfielders playing. I'd like to see Jordan Nobbs playing, because I think at some stage we're going to have to try and get midfield players in there, not offensive players, because we're going to let's face it, Jordan Nobbs is an out-and-out midfield player. You look at someone like Fran Kirby, who's rested today, and Ella Toon, they're more like second strikers. We need midfield players, because when we do get up against these better teams, our midfield are going to need to do a lot more to help Kira Walsh. And I think at the moment it would be good to see them rotated in this kind of game, to see how Kira Walsh can build a relationship with proper midfield players.
Is she in a difficult position as well? Because not only is she trying to get a team that she likes and maybe her best starting to 11, but she was also getting to know these players too, because she's still quite new to the role.
Yeah, you know, Serena's mentioned a lot of times that it's a short window of time to prepare these girls, but at the same time you would expect that this is the opportunity to really see these changes and see what kind of relationships that you can build with other players inside. There is always an argument that the manager wants to see the strongest group just gel and get momentum.
Let's talk about some of these players then tonight, because Lauren Hemp, she's come quite close to scoring an England goal, still hasn't managed to do it, and actually had quite a few chances against Austria. She might be kicking herself. Yeah,
but the thing with Lauren, what I like about her is how direct she is, how, you know what I mean, the crosses she puts in. I'm not worried about her not scoring yet, because I think she's going to be here for a long time, and her goals will come, and they'll be important goals. What you want to see from her is like what she's shown for Man City, one of their most consistent performances, is continuous consistency. You know, that's what she gives. She gives that, and so I think there's a lot of talk about her not scoring yet. But when you look at her quality and what she's capable of, and you look at all these clips, how good she is, how direct she is, how direct her left foot is, she's going to score, and she'll score at times when it'd be vitally important to her. So I'm not really fussed to see her not score in a game like today, because I know that when the big games come, she's going to do her stuff.
She's nominated for Player of the Month in the WSL. What can she bring to this team tonight?
Well, like Ian's mentioned, you know, Lauren is super direct. She draws other players to her and creates space for her teammates, actually. And she gets a lot of assists, and that's what you want from a dynamic attacking player like Lauren. And I think you'll see much more of the same, and she might get on the score sheet today. I think we're all willing it to happen. Yeah. But, you know, she's an important player because of how much she provides for this team.
Well, one player that might be looking to get on the score sheet tonight, because we've been building up to this quite a while, is Ellen White, of course, who has got an eye on the record. But I want to take you back to this, guys. This is 2010. Yeah. This is Ellen White's debut, aged just 20. You can see it in her face, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. She actually scored on her debut, and it was against Austria. And then if you fast forward a little bit now to the year that we're in today, and her last game against Austria, that was her 100th cap, and she scored again. So it just, the parallels between Austria and Austria, really, but she is on a roll, really, isn't she, Ian? Look at that, the record there. Kelly Smith 46, Ellen White 45. Kelly Smith even said that if she breaks her record, which we think is incoming, could be tonight, might not be, Kelly will be the first person to text her and say congratulations.
She will, because that's the kind of lady she is, and you know, she has to get credit, just like Ellen White's getting credit now. And Ellen White doing what she's doing is actually bringing Kelly Smith and her achievements to the fore. But what we have to understand with Ellen White is her consistency. I think in that year as well, she might have been Player of the Year, England Player of the Year, and she was England's Player of the Year in 2021 as well. So we're talking about 10 years of consistent performances for England, someone we can't do without in the tournament, and somebody who is rightly like beaming down on this record because of her consistency and the amount of goals she scored. And now I think she probably wants to get it done, get it out of the way, so she can concentrate on what she's doing, playing for her team.
Okay. Well, let's have a little look at Latvia, the team that they're putting out tonight that's going to face England here in Doncaster. Bad news, actually, for Latvia, because they're missing 4 of their best players tonight, including Olga Sevkova. She's out for personal reasons. She scored the only goal in that 4-1 loss to North Macedonia. Latvia haven't played since that 10-0 loss against England. So they haven't had a chance to get back into the swing of things. That was in Riga. It's a very inexperienced squad tonight as well, so it doesn't bode well for them. Now, after the break, we're going to hear from a woman who knows this part of the world more than most. It's Millie Bright. She's the England captain tonight, and she'll tell us about how it feels to come back to Doncaster. Well, Millie Bright was named captain for these November matches, a great honour made all the more special with the match tonight taking place in Doncaster, the club where it all began.
Millie Bright, England defender. Time for a fun Doncaster quiz. Can't wait to get 0. What's the name of the river that runs through Doncaster? Literally, no idea. River Don. How many miles between Doncaster and Chelsea? Going under 300. 296? 173. Oh my God. Who else in the squad played for Doncaster Bells? Marriott and Bethany England. Amazing. 1 point. What's the population of Doncaster? I'd personally say a smaller number, but I feel like I'm going to go opposite. 165. 109,805. How many FA Cups has Doncaster Bells won? 6. Yeah. Just put into words what it meant to lead England out against Austria at the Stadium of Light. It's a massive moment, I think, just seeing how far I've developed as a player and a person, and having Serena's trust to be put in that position, really, and yeah, being responsible for the team. And I always like to lead by example, so yeah, and having my family there was incredible. If someone had told that girl from Killamarsh that she would be captaining England, what would she say? Absolutely not. What we betting? How much she's riding on it? No, I'd have literally laughed and said absolutely not. There's no chance. I think everyone else would have said the same around me, to be fair. Having spent 5 years at Doncaster, how special then is it going to be to see England play at Keepmoat? Many mixed emotions come from playing at Keepmoat. I guess that's when the dreaming started happening, really. Donny was my family, that was my home for a long time, so yeah, it's certainly going to be emotional, especially for my family. Does it feel like a homecoming? Yeah, definitely. To have Mary and Beth here with me as well on this journey, and us 3 doing it together, really did start from the bottom, and yeah, we just want to keep progressing and proving that no matter your background, no matter the teams you played for, it's always possible to get to where you want to be. Back in the day, Donny were the ones to beat. They were up there with the best, so yeah, it's definitely a team. When you say the name, everybody knows Doncaster Bells, everybody knows the success that comes with the club. I'm very proud to have represented them for so many years, and to be returning to the Keepmoat, there's lots of memories attached with that, so yeah, hopefully we can make it a good homecoming, I guess. After Doncaster Bells, you moved to Chelsea. What was that transition like from semi-pro to professional? Hard. It was extremely hard. I'm always up for a challenge. I'm a very driven, competitive person. But for me, leaving home was a massive deal, and moving to London, complete different atmosphere. The change in being a semi-professional player to a professional player, everything changes. The tactical input, the technical advice on the pitch and detail, training every day, just solely focusing on football as opposed to my daytime job and then training in the evening. After 40 games without a goal for England, you've now got 3 goals in 4. To be honest, I think that just comes from myself and being confident, and the connections are coming along nicely. They're obviously not where we want them to be, but as a team we look more as one. Whoever scores, I'm not bothered as long as it goes in. Hey, I've got moves, I'll tell you that. No, I'm joking, don't ever quote me on that. Me and Rach, I was like, Rach, come on, we've got to get through COVID together, like we've got to do something. Yeah, I do TikTok. I'm owning it. So, planning on going on Strictly anytime soon with those moves? Absolutely not. Maybe Britain's Got Talent or something, but yeah. I'll hold you to that. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, there you go, Millie Bright, looking to score maybe more goals tonight, but she's saying, look, she doesn't mind because it's all about the team performance. But one thing you do get from that is she just seems like a great person to have around, a great leader as well. An important thing to notice as well is that we talk about the amount of goals that England has scored, 33 goals in these qualifying campaigns, but it's 5 clean sheets as well. And she said before, she takes an equal amount of pride in those clean sheets than scoring the goals. And as a defender, I'm sure you can understand where she's coming from.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I've played with Millie, so I know exactly what she's like. And it hurts to concede goals, and she takes pride in her role in the team, and it allows actually the attacking players to feel that they trust the players behind them, like Millie, to go on and take the team forward and create opportunities. And Millie's the sort of player that when you're playing a rondo, she doesn't want to let a player out. She's literally do or die, everything. And you can see that, and the confidence in her has come on massively. So, yeah, it's great to witness.
Ian, how important is it to guard against complacency when you've been scoring all the goals that you have against teams that there is a big gap between?
It's vitally important because it's about the concentration when you know you are superior. It's about doing the things and doing the right things, doing them properly. Because I expect us to score goals tonight, but at the same time I expect us to do it professionally and do it clinically. And she's that kind of player. Like Anita's saying there about the rondo, you don't want to lose the rondo. You don't want to make it easy for people in the rondo. And that's how you've got to train. You've got to train like that. You've got to play like that. But what I like about all of the ladies, everybody in it, is their stories and the journey from them to get to there for her to be now captain in England here at Doncaster. And you mentioned at the start about Doncaster, and it was Doncaster Bells. I heard more about Doncaster Bells than I actually heard about the actual football team because they've done so much and they've played such a part. So it's great to see her here, captaining England at Doncaster.
And Ian, she's got family that are going to be in the crowd, quite a lot of family that are going to be in the crowd tonight. You know how that feels? Unbelievable.
It's amazing. I'm like my debut for England at Wembley against Cameroon. I had all the family there, and it's very difficult. And I wasn't even captain. I was just, it's just my debut, and it's one of those where the emotions are running high. So, again, it's a great day for her, and she's just going to have to keep that in check, and it's going to be brilliant for her family.
It's going to be business as usual against this team tonight, against Latvia. When they're playing against Austria, there were a couple of times where they did give away some chances, and Mary Earps actually had to make a couple of saves, and she has been notoriously not very busy in these qualifying campaigns.
Yeah, well, it's important that those players that aren't being as busy, like you say, as Mary Earps in this instance, which she makes a quality save, is that they're mentally astute, that they're constantly concentrating and organising the players in front of them, so that in the moments where they're needed or expected to do something, that they step up and they actually keep the team in the game.
All right, guys, more from you in just a minute. Kick-off is getting ever closer. The stadium is starting to fill up, and the women's game has come on leaps and bounds since the days of the Doncaster Bells. After the break, we are going to hear from Dame Baroness Sue Campbell, the FA Director of Women's Football. That's all coming up. Well, 12,000 fans are expected here tonight as England take on Latvia. 12,000 very excited people. Lots of young ladies looking for some inspiration out on the pitch tonight, and they will certainly get it as England want to keep up their 100% record in their 6th game of this qualifying campaign. We are building up to kick-off, and we cannot wait for it to start. Well, the Doncaster Bells are one of the most successful teams from the 80s and 90s, winning the FA Cup 6 times. It's a club synonymous with the early years of the women's game here in the UK, and those who played for them paved the way for the players of today. And someone who has helped to oversee so many changes in the game is Baroness Sue Campbell, and she is talking to Katie now.
So good to see you. Just like Sunderland, explain how important Doncaster has been for the development of women's football in England.
Well, I guess it was one of the great pioneering parts with Doncaster Bells, and all the success that we have now has been built on the shoulders of all those people who pioneered the game, and Doncaster was one of those very, very important clubs.
How do you view the growth of the game since the days of the success of Doncaster Bells?
Well, I think we are now really seeing football being played in schools by girls. We've expanded the number of clubs offering opportunities for girls. So I think we're seeing a massive growth at the participation end. We've seen great play at the top end. Now the trick for us is to build the right ladder between the bottom and the top. So our next big push is to get that talent pathway right.
So therefore, how crucial is it then to take the England team around the country to connect with the fans?
Very, very important. I think, We want people to see the women play. We want them to enjoy it. It's a wonderful game to watch, very open, it's attacking, and we want young girls, young women to come and watch and aspire to be one of the players of the future.
And there's an invitational tournament in February. Just tell us a bit more about that and the final team that's just been announced.
Well, we're really excited to host this tournament. We've already confirmed Germany and Spain, and today we've announced Canada. The Olympic gold medalists will be the 4th team. It'll be a fantastic tournament, played all around the country. It'll be great for everybody to come and watch. It'll be very competitive. And a great opportunity for people to see the very best of women's football.
Thanks ever so much, Sue, and enjoy the game tonight.
Thank you.
It really will be a brilliant test, and a kind of test that I think Sarina Wiegman will be welcoming, because these are the games. England taking on Canada, as you just heard, they're the Olympic champions. Then it's against Spain, and then it's against Germany. All of that live across ITV coming up in February. Ian, these are the sorts of games that you need to put yourself against, right?
Absolutely, and that's why games like this one, the games that we've had previously, apart from Austria, are games that I would like to have seen a bit more rotation, just because I believe that when we do get to play those teams, we're going to need a little bit more than a very attacking midfield like I saw with Ella Toone playing and Fran Kirby playing. I'd like to see someone like Fran Kirby playing in a position like she plays at Chelsea, where she could play more of that second strike and do some of that stuff. But we'll see in those games, because they're going to be tough games for us.
Sarina was saying as well, Anita, that she wants to play against a team that's going to have more possession, more chances, more time on the ball, so they can really test England's defence, because they've barely been tested.
Yeah, it's really important for the team and for Sarina as well, because she's going to have to make adjustments. You know, we might see her make different tactical changes as well as personnel. So it's important to play teams that are going to test you and expose some of the things that you want to fine-tune coming into the tournament.
There is traffic actually stopping a lot of the fans getting here today, but unfortunately the one person with the foghorn managed to make it into the ground, so we'll try and fight that. I wanted to bring something up, actually, guys, because the FA Cup final is on Sunday the 5th of December, so this Sunday coming up. It's 100 years on from when women were banned from playing football on FA pitches, and the FA have deliberately done this so it's 100 years on that day. Quite incredible, really, when you look into why they were banned. One of the reasons was it was quite unsuitable for women. That was what the FA deemed, and there's a theory behind it that perhaps actually what they were worried about was that the women's game was just getting so popular that it was going to affect some of the profits of the men's game.
Yeah, but what happened was, I think it was a Boxing Day game. It was Dick Kerr's municipal team, factory team, against St Helens on Boxing Day, and I think they drew a crowd of 53,000, and I think that frightened certain men. And so they stopped it, which is why, like I say, when you listen to the stories of women who finally got there, listen to someone like Ellen White say she didn't even see football as a profession for her. The journey that these ladies have taken and the generations of women that have been stopped for playing is criminal, really. So I'm just pleased that it's picking up now, it's starting to happen. And yeah, we have to play games like this where we play against women's teams we might beat, but it's great just to see it happening.
And it's quite special as well, I think, that they're doing it 100 years on, just to bring it to the attention so we don't forget about it, Anita.
Yeah, it's almost a statement, isn't it? We remind ourselves of our historical past and the journey that this game has taken for the women. And again, to be here now, to be visible, to have, an amazing group of women representing our nation, it shows how far we've come.
Thank you very much, guys. Kick-off is edging ever closer. Sarina Wiegman has been impressed with their England players so far. They want to win, they want to score even more goals as well. And with this attacking lineup, she'll be hoping for plenty more tonight. Join us after the break when the teams will be coming out. Welcome back to Doncaster. We are building up to kick-off, which is coming up very, very shortly between England and Latvia in this World Cup qualifying campaign. Let's focus on this game then, because Sarina Wiegman has been demanding more goals. Last time out, Anita, it was 10. Are they going to get more today?
Yeah, you would imagine so. We've heard that many of their starters aren't in the side tonight, so it seems like it's a bit of a mountain for this Latvia side against a very strong England side.
How do England approach it? Are they just going to go all-out attack?
Well, I think they should, because judging by the Latvia side and what they're capable of doing, I don't think they're going to harm England. So we're just going to have to score as many goals as we can. That's what I would say. Be as professional as you can, score as many goals as you can.
Consistent as well.
Absolutely, Anita.
All right, let's get into it then. 12,000 expected here in Doncaster. The stage is set at the Keepmoat Stadium in Doncaster. Teams are in the tunnel, and in commentary for us for this one tonight, ex-England international Siobhan Chamberlain, and first Sarah Hutchinson.
Well, Doncaster hosts the Bells of England. The Lionesses looking for 6 wins from 6 for a clean sweep of clean sheets, and Latvia are in truth unlike to ruin Serena Wigman's perfect first half dozen. Austria made life tough at times, but England overcame that challenge. Latvia now come to this part of England with a weakened side that lost by 10 in their own backyard. But the England manager still wants her side to stay focused and not let up on the goal scoring. For those in attendance at the Keepmoat Stadium, excited and ready to watch England, they travel round the country to access all the fans in all parts of the nation. Before the action starts, the anthems of both nations.
Please be standing for the national anthem, starting with Latvia.
England v Latvia after this brief break. Welcome back to the Keepmoat Stadium in Doncaster, England's final game of 2021. And an opponent who they thrashed last time out in Riga. In Sunderland, England face their toughest home test tonight. In Doncaster, the opposite, and hence a lineup that is all-out attack. Ellen White, so very close to that all-time scoring record for the national team. And Millie Bright captaining her country in the club where it all began. England players take the knee, Latvian players choose not to. And away we go as England host seemingly the weakest team in the group. We expect goals this evening, but what else are we hoping to see, Siobhan?
Enjoyable football. I think if you can see the girls playing with a smile on their face, enjoying what they're doing, playing how Serena Wigman wants them to play, I think that's going to lead to, as you said before, lots of goals, and ultimately that's what the crowds come to see today.
Latvia playing with an 18-year-old goalkeeper and making just her second appearance for her country. Laura Sinyukina likely to be tested often. And England played this similar shape in the reverse fixture. No out-and-out fullbacks, no fullbacks needed at all. Hemp and Mead high and wide. Expecting lots of touches from the likes of Stanway and Toon in that front line. Lotte Wubbenmoy, her first start for England. Opposed Arsenal defender. Brights playing it forward, England laying it off. White. He's here to get a few. Greenwood! Oh! Decent strike, to say the least. Couldn't find a way in, but so close for Alex Greenwood. We know she has a shot on her. England have a player down at the moment. And almost some start for the home side.
An absolutely beautiful strike from Alex Greenwood. We know exactly what she can do, and she loves to get forward into those positions. And when she hits this, it looks like it's absolutely flying into that top corner. And then I'm not sure if Beth England here has been fouled. I think she's saying that there's some kind of connection, but thankfully she's up and ready to go again.
Greenwood going long, and England might be in here again, and there we go. It didn't take them long. It didn't take Beth Mead long. Not even 2.5 minutes on the clock, and England on the score sheets. It could be a very long evening for Latvia.
A really tidy finish there from Beth Mead. She was frustrated at the weekend not to get that goal in her hometown at Sunderland. She's made up for it after just 2 minutes today. A lovely cut across goal from Lauren Hemp. Beth Mead doing what she does best, finishing it into the bottom corner.
Well, Beth Mead on the end of one there. She's found goals easy to come by for England, and already a goal easy to come by in the opening few minutes. Mead picking up again and sending one in. Mead once more. Stanway really getting on the ball. Now Walsh. Greenwood sliding it in. One-touch football from England. Making that Latvia defence already. Toon. Stanway. Now Bright. Stanway. Mead. Stanway. Room for Stanway. Oh, that's a fine save. Sinyakina diving across to keep it at 1-0 for now.
It's a brilliant save from the goalkeeper there from this angle as well. It was flying in that bottom corner. Not only just to make the save, but to tip it out of danger from the oncoming Lauren Hemp. For it to go out for a corner and away from danger. It's a fantastic stop from the keeper.
And to build her confidence. And England on the early hunt. In goes the corner. Tester for the goalkeeper. Where will it drop? Hacked away by Tane, the Latvia captain. It's back to Walsh. Probably drop him through those defenders and start attack after attack. England. 2. England again. Sent in. Next to the left penalty area. To Toon. Snapshots from Ella Toon, who scored a hat-trick in the last meeting, and she's looking for more.
Ella Toon definitely looking to take off where she left away in Latvia, scoring a hat-trick. Quick snapshot there on her left foot, probably not to the standards that she's used to, but good to see her getting shots away nice and early and feeling very confident.
Latvia without their first-choice goalkeeper, Ivode, who saved a penalty against Ellen White in that 10-0 defeat. So a big night for Sinyakina. She's made that save already. And then looking up again, White. A record equaler for Ellen White. Level now with Kelly Smith. It's only a matter of time before she breaks it.
Ellen White doesn't score many goals like that from outside the box. She saved it for a special occasion, and to score an absolute absolute worldie of a goal like that to equal the record. Can't wait to see the next one that breaks it.
Well, already problems for Latvia as expected. They're under pressure straight from kickoff. No way out. Free kick goes the way of the visitors. A chance for a breather. But Ellen White, we always knew she'd get a chance, at least.
I'm not fully convinced that was a foul. I think the referee felt Latvia needed a breather, needed some time on the ball. Yeah, going back to Ellen White, an unbelievable strike. As I said, she doesn't normally score them from there. You see her in and around the 6-yard box, across the near post, but no, it's a beautiful strike. Keeper's made a fantastic effort to try and get there, but absolutely no chance. Straight rocketed in.
That's a loose pass from England. A chance maybe for Latvia to have an attack, but it doesn't last very long, and Biff England will chase after this. Suggestion they're going to ease up on Latvia. Should want games like this. Already 2-0 up here, England. For the opposition, it must be tough.
It is, but they probably came into the game knowing that it was going to be tough. It's a mental game for them now, more than a physical game. They need to be able to be resilient, to show what they've learned from the away game. Have they learned anything? Can they know how to bank up, how to say, look, we're just going to restrict the damage?
Stanway sends it in towards White. Awesome, Ellen White. Now the greatest ever goal scorer to lead the line of the Lionesses. And she's done it in the first 10 minutes. And look at the delight on her face. She kept saying it doesn't mean much. It certainly means a lot to Ellen White.
A brilliant goal and a typical Ellen White finish. You can see the emotion in her face, the celebration. She's still emotional now. Fantastic to break that record with, as I said, a typical Ellen White finish, poaching it in the 6-yard box. And you can see how much of a valued team member she is by the way the team celebrated with her.
Just a hint of the offside, but who cares? And no matter the opposition, a goal for your country means so much, and we could see by her reaction, and there you go, 47 ahead of Kelly Smith now.
The question is, how high could she go tonight?
Absolutely. England 3 up in the first 10 minutes. Serena Wigman said she wanted them to continue to be ruthless. Toon trying to slip it through. And back again to Toon. And him. And England. Scrambling challenge across. There's going to be a few of those. That one from Anna Gornilla, who's on debut.
What a game to make your debut in. Great challenge there, did well not to give away a penalty against Beth England. Out for another corner for England now.
Gornilla already with more work to do. In goes the England corner. Whose head will this arrive on? A lot of Woman Moy attacking it at the back post. Hemp was in there. 2 players who haven't scored for England. Surely tonight's the night for one of them.
Well, we've seen Woman Moy, how she attacks the ball at corners for Arsenal. She's tremendous in the air, comes powering, driving through. Just got caught a little bit under it at the back post there, but I'm sure one of them will definitely be on the score sheet for England tonight at least.
Walsh. Greenwood. Inside to Walsh. Cross to Stanway. Bright. Oh, Mead. Sharp turn. Sharper finish. Second for Beth Mead. Are you keeping count? She's already scored one hat-trick for England in this qualification campaign. She's sniffing out another.
A brilliant touch, a brilliant turn, and an even better finish into that bottom corner. These are the games that test the technical ability of these players, and Beth Mead is absolutely shining at the moment.
Well, Beth Mead up to 17 goals for England. Already losing count myself, 15 goals for England. Mead. Beth England, who didn't score in the last meeting. She's very busy here. Toon shrugs off the challenge. Hemp. Moy. Greenwood. She's looking to link up. Everybody wants to get in on the act. Stanway. Walsh. Greenwood. White is into trouble. And of course, before this game, we would have predicted that England would win this game, but to score so many goals so early, that's a different element to their campaign so far.
I think that's what England have been lacking. They've dominated games, they should be, but they haven't been as clinical as they could be.
Stanway sends it in. That's another decent ball for Georgia Stanway, and Ellen White fancies a hat-trick of her own.
And I'm pretty sure she'll get one, that's for sure in this game if it continues as it is. But as I was saying before, yes, they've scored lots of goals, but given the chances they've had, the attacking play that they've been playing with, they could have had so many more.
Greenwood will watch this one all the way back. Now Walsh. Leah Williamson was playing that role earlier on in this qualification campaign. Matane can't dwell on the ball there. Mead is in space on the right and has it now. Shirts flooding into the penalty area for England. So many options. Stanway whips one in, but a bit too much on that. But it's good to see Georgia Stanway playing in her preferred position.
It definitely is. She's a fantastic midfielder, and for the last couple of years she hasn't really been able to find her feet in there. She came bursting onto the scene at Manchester City and with England, but she's been utilised all over the pitch, which is great sometimes, but other times it's a bit of a detriment.
Oh, nice layoff. And England, her shot's blocked. One player will be desperate to get on the score sheet amongst all these goals. Bright. Moy. Greenwood. Now Bright. Slots it in there. Middle lane. Defence, the lid shade that time. Walsh, Stanway, the one-touch football. It's cleared away by Schenberger. Latvia have average conceding 5 goals in World Cup qualifiers. And England already at 4 here. Walsh, Stanway clips it in to England, and that almost squeezed in.
A really well worked move there from England. Had the patience, moved it around, didn't rush it and force it. A nice clip, dinked ball from Georgia Stanway, and Beth England's header just evaded that far post. Another player, as you said, that I'm sure will be really hoping to get on the score sheet today.
Beth England, who's seen a lot of her football come from the bench, the club and country. Can't doubt her scoring ability. Hemp. And this should get the pass away to Toon. Across to Stanway, drop of the shoulder, classy play. Stanway might go all the way. And that was well blocked in the end there by Lavina, who's having to drop back into that defence from midfield.
A great block from the defender there, and as you said, dropping into the defence. I think their formation, an early corner.
Short corner taken by England. Mead clips it, they're queuing up at the back post. Flags up against Beth England. She doesn't know yet. She doesn't know yet. They celebrate with her, and there's the reaction.
Oh, the frustration from Beth England there. I'm sure she'll have plenty more opportunities, but to feel that you've scored where your career began, where you used to play, be an unbelievable emotion for her when it actually comes off. Hopefully not too long for her to wait.
Walsh. Moy. Now Bright. Hemp on the opposite side. And drifts inside. Looking to link up. White. Stanway. Who's getting on the end of this? Oh, another goal. A first goal for England. For Lauren Hemp. Finally it's come. And in a style we might not have expected. With a smile on the face of Lauren Hemp.
A first goal for England, and one that was definitely worth waiting for. She started the move. 1 and 2 touch play, and a fantastic finish that again left the goalkeeper with absolutely no chance. The way England have been finishing so far today has been absolutely outstanding.
And that's what Serena Wigman will be pleased with, is the sharpness of the England players. We think back to that North Macedonia game and all the chances that were wasted in an 8-0 victory. What's going to happen tonight? England. Now Hemp. Bright. Moy. Greenwood. And there's no signs, even in these early stages, of England taking it easy. White lays it off. Stanway. Walsh. Greenwood. Bright. Slips it in to White. Stanway lays it off. Toon with a shot. Spilt by the goalkeeper. And somehow Ellen White denied right on the line.
That's absolutely brilliant defending. Ellen White with the sure bet there to get her hat-trick. The defender came sliding in absolutely nowhere to block it out for a corner. Fantastic defender defending from the Latvian.
In goes the corner, hung towards Millie Bright, stretching to try and keep the move going. Toon hooks it back in again and collected by the young goalkeeper. Bright. Walsh. Stanway clips it in. And some more last-ditch defending from Latvia. That's all they can do at the moment. England. White. Surely the hat-trick is coming. Greenwood. Stepping inside, Greenwood drifting past challenges. Walsh, Stanway. Another chance to pull it back. Walsh looking to guide it in, flags up. It is relentless. And more actually than we probably would have expected.
It's incredible incredibly relentless. And I think when you see Alex Greenwood, who's supposedly playing at left side centre-back, to be on the right side of the box, dribbling around players at the edge of the 18-yard box, trying to unleash a shot, tells you how dominant this England team is being tonight.
Right forward, Hemp. She goes. Rare loose pass from England, but they win it back pretty quickly. Toon sliding in. Now Bright. Toon. Almost dribbled out to that right-hand side of him. Tried to flick it back. Through the first half. The trick's already coming out. Walsh. Bright. Stanway holds it up to England. Back inside. Desperate clearance in there from Gornella. Mead. England. Bright. Hemp whips it in. That's a lovely ball. Asking for somebody to put it in, and guess what? Beth Mead. It's not taken her long to score England's 6th and her hat-trick. Goodness me, another hat-trick for Beth Mead. But England carving Latvia open.
Beth Mead and Lauren Hemp on opposite sides of the pitch at the moment, but exactly the same end product as you get on the opposite sides. Fantastic goal for Beth Mead and a very well-earned hat-trick after just 23 minutes. I'm not sure which was quicker, this one or her one at Wembley.
Unbelievably, I think the one at Wembley was quicker, but who knows, she might get another hat-trick in the next 10 minutes. Of course, there is a serious point to a side like Latvia losing so heavily and so early in the game, but as far as England are concerned, this was their intention, to not let up and keep scoring goals. Stanway. Bright, England, Walsh. Toon now. Towards England. Couldn't direct it towards goal. At the moment she probably cannot believe she's not scored herself.
Beforehand, it was Lauren Hemp that was the one that the goal just wouldn't come for her. Everything she tried was just creeping wide of the post. Tonight it looks like it's Beth England's turn. But she's getting in good positions, and again a good strong header, just not quite on target.
Walsh. Soon to Mead. Walsh up to Stanway. Walsh now, look at that pass. Hemp slicing through the defence. Back it goes to Stanway. So many options for him. Miscued. Toon almost looped in as well. But so many options for the player on the ball.
I think that's the real positive for England. There's so many Latvian bodies around the box. They've got bodies defending all areas, but England still managed to find their players' feet time and time again. The quality and the technical ability on show has been great tonight, and it needs to continue for the entire 90 minutes. And then who knows what the scoreline could be.
Serena Wigman looks happy. Surely 6 is enough up to now. Stanway. Walsh. Bright. this one across to Greenwood. Finds England, time to turn. Stanway, Toon wants it. Able to slide it into England, wanting to spin. She's going to run out of play.
Is 26 minutes too early to be thinking about what substitutes you want to bring on at half-time?
Yeah, it is a serious point. Here's England. Just get some relief. A way out, but there's no really release pass to make for Latvia. Maybe a chance to get going here to Mane. And this is the best football of their first half. And Mane being trapped all the way by Walsh, nowhere to go. And this is where it could be a problem. Hemp. White now, and England busting a gut to get into the penalty area. Late arrivals as well. This is an awkward one for the Latvia defence, and England really working those neck muscles to nod that one down.
I think that's close to a hat-trick of headers for Beth England there. Again, in a good position, Ellen White here, running the channels, which we don't normally see from her. We normally see her more central. I think it was Ella Toon that was coming in late, that was probably the free player to play it to, but as you said, Beth England working really hard to get up there and make connection.
Incidentally, Austria, who England played last time out, are already 4-0 up against Luxembourg. Battling with Northern Ireland at the moment for second place in that group. We're level on points for them, and it's no difference between those two for the playoff place as it stands. For this game, England, Serena Wigman in particular, was saying that she just wants her side to continue to be clinical, not take the foot off the gas. I mean, they're in such a supreme position here, and they know the big tests are coming in February. Two. Stanway. It's pass from Georgia Stanway, but she's had the freedom of Doncaster tonight, as we expected she might, playing in the same role that Frank Kirby was playing in.
Huge boots to fill after Frank Kirby's performance at the weekend. Player of the match by far, she was fantastic. One of her best performances in an England shirt for quite a while, and Georgia Stanway to come in and have to fill those boots is a tough ask, but she started very brightly.
Taking her time with this goal kick. I don't blame her. Moy. Now Bright will just step into forward area for England. Hemp finds the pass, pinpoint Toon, shuffles, looks for the space to get the shot, and well held by Suzuki.
Tidy goalkeeping there. So Beth England and Ellen White were both first to react. They were both there waiting for any knockdown, so she had to hold it. She's made a couple of smart stops, yes. She's conceded 6. And as a former goalkeeper, I know that's very demoralising, but she's got to take hold of those positives as well.
Moy, first start for England. She is coasting through this game. Bright, salute pass. Doesn't take too long for England to win it back. Walsh. England, options everywhere. Stanway, who will she pick out? Back it goes. Warren Hemp, back to Bright. Now Greenwood. Stanway is completely free, and look at that for a pinpoint pass. And Stanway taking that first time, that would have been something. Didn't catch it cleanly though.
That would have been an outstanding goal. Beautiful delivery from Alex Greenwood. We know that she's got that in her locker. And Georgia Stanway just couldn't make the right connection. She's as well as an incredibly technical player, and knows she's got the ability to do that. Just took her eye off it at the last minute.
Yeah, Georgia Stanway scored in the last meeting between these two sides. one of the 10 that England got on that occasion. They're over halfway to that total in the first half an hour.
I spoke slightly in jest about substitutions, but I think it's a fantastic opportunity. I think I'd love to see a few subs made at half-time. Want to see Russo coming on the pitch, Niamh Charles potentially, Jordan Nobbs definitely. These players that I think deserve some game time and deserve some opportunity on the pitch. Katie Zellem as well, who's been around the squad for a time. It's the perfect opportunity to bring these players on.
Zellem looking for her first England cap. That doesn't necessarily mean, though, if England make all those substitutions, that it will get any easier for Latvia. There'll be players equally as hungry. Stanway. Hemp. It goes to Bright. Moyes slots it into Beth England, who's been so busy for England. Walsh, Stanway, Bright, need to move it quickly. Hemp whips it in, difficult for the defence to deal with those. Walsh takes the touch. Bright. It's the longest period of the game in which England haven't scored. Toon. It's controlled by Ellen White. Possibly a little frustrated there, Ellen White. Hemp. Walsh now. Moy able to step forward under no challenge as well. Just picked an easy pass to Toon. Toon will look for Hemp. The ambitious ball there to really stretch the defence. Bright. Space for Stanway. Who will it drop to? Again, backed away, last-ditch defending. Greenwood. Thought about the shot. Tries to work it wide. And that's the temptation for all these England players. There's so much space around. Keeping the discipline of finding the right teammate. But here's Greenwood. And worked it wide again. 4 waiting for the cross. 5 now, including Greenwood. Just keeps on coming. And I haven't mentioned Mary Earps' name once. Toon. Toon again. Pulls her body up, works it wide. Mead sends it in. White's in there. Couldn't keep it down. Big chance for the 3 there for Ella White. Not to be this time.
It's a brilliant delivery from Beth Mead. She's been outstanding this first half. She's got herself a hat-trick, but she's also put in some beautiful deliveries, some great combination play, and she's rightly deserved her starting place for England at the moment.
Beth Mead at the moment with the hat-trick. She'll be thinking of is, can I get 4? Bright. Mead on that hat-trick. Nobody scored more than 3 goals in one World Cup qualifier for England. Oh, what about that? Just saw the goalkeeper's positioning there, Ella Toon.
Great vision from Ella Toon, just couldn't quite execute it, needed a little bit more power on it. She saw the goalkeeper was slightly off her line, but not the execution she was after to get that nestling in that top corner.
Toon. Now Mead to Greenwood. Millie Bright. The diagonal finds the target, and that is very ambitious, even for a player of the quality of Beth Mead.
The way she's been playing this half, I wouldn't be surprised if that found its way nestling in that top corner. A very audacious effort. saw her. She put her hand up afterwards, kind of apologising to a certain extent that it was a wasted effort, but definitely one that I wouldn't stop her from taking again.
She'll definitely try it again. Made with a touch. White leaves it nicely for him, and back inside. Couldn't quite get it under control there. Ellen White slaps her own hand in irritation.
Imagine Ellen White is craving that third goal, craving that hat-trick. Yes, she's a team player, but as a striker, you want to be scoring goals, and I'm sure she really wants that hat-trick today on this special occasion.
Samid to take the corner, looking to turn provider here. Plenty forward, goes for the low corner to Bubba Boy. Looked like a reverse move from the Arsenal training ground. Here's Mead again. Greenwood clips it in, and Bright's in there. Was there maybe even an arm up? No appeals really from England. Millie Bright taste for goals recently.
You put your money on Millie Bright getting this on target. She's got a great physical presence in there. She's fantastic in the air. She's scored a couple for England in the qualifiers so far already. Didn't quite get her timing right. Defender did enough to put her off.
It's a nice touch in there from England. Lavina across for Latvia. All she can do is put it straight out to play. But it's been relatively long time since he did last scored in this first half. Link-up play, goalkeeper's missed that. And they've still not cleared it, flash shot. Bodies everywhere in that Latvia defence. Gergaledze, I think, got in the way there to deny England a 7th. Bright down the line, just runs away, but so far England with 6 goals, a hat-trick for Beth Mead, and in her scoring that hat-trick she's joined Kelly Smith and Tony Duggan as just the 3rd player to score 2 World Cup qualifying hat-tricks for England. But as we know with all these attacking players in this England lineup, they'll be wanting as many as possible before the changes come. Because you would fancy at half-time we might see some changes.
I agree. I think there could be 3 or 4. She won't want to make all of them just in case anyone picks up an injury. But I'm sure England could cope with 10 if they needed to.
White lays it off. Bright. White turns. Stanway. And Toon. Here at the moment, just watching white shirts pass the ball around to pass through them as well, and Mead chests it down, and Stanway. But it is the sort of night to try a few things, that's for sure.
It is, but I have a feeling Serena Wiegmann might say, just get it back to basics. We're trying things that we wouldn't normally try if it was 0-0, if it was tight. Yes, 1 or 2 clever little audacious tricks and flicks and attempts. But it's getting a bit consistent now. I think she'll say at half-time, look, do what we did at the start of this half. Keep it basic, keep it simple, keep the ball moving, and you will score goals.
Now, of course, is the great problem that England have here. Is nowhere near the challenge that they'll face in February. They know that. Right now, looking for another goal before half-time, another goal at least. We've held out for the last 17 minutes. Here might be a chance for England. Oh, very important touch in there to deny Beth England. Lavina just stretching.
Another brilliant tackle there. Came out of nowhere again. I think every time Beth England gets the ball in and around that 6-yard box, a Latvian defender makes an outstanding tackle. This time it's the 6.
Lavina important foot in, but England coming forward again. Ball clipped in. Beth England chesting it down and hitting Lauren Hemp there with the effort. The 2. She's got it back here though. head back to her feet. Hemp. 3 waiting for the cross. England's one of them, might drop to White. Robin Moy. Walsh. And they're in behind once more. England and Latvia saving their best defending, but denying Beth England, if it seems at the moment.
It does. Maybe they've got the memo that they needed to defend England as a player as opposed to England as the team.
England. Stanway. Toon lets fly. Oh! That is class, you have to say, from Ella Toon, the type of class we're getting used to. After a hat-trick against Latvia last time out, she adds another for England here before half-time.
And it's a tidy finish from Ella Toon, one that we're used to seeing from her. Potentially the goalkeeper could have done a little bit better there. But a tidy finish, as we said. And could we have another player that scored 2 hat-tricks in World Cup qualifiers? 2 against the same team.
Well. England 7 goals up before half-time. I know plenty of you will be wondering what the record scoreline is for the national side, for the England women's side. It's 13-0. Here's Beth England. Mead helps it in, and another. And you wait so long for 1 goal, and 2 come along in 1 half for Lauren Hemp. 8.
A brilliant header from Lauren Hemp. But once again, it's Beth Mead with an unbelievable delivery. Picks her out, pinpoint on her head. Great delivery, great header. And England on the score sheet again.
And they're scoring in bunches here, England. They waited a relative while for the 7th one to come. And Beth Mead turning provider there. Assist for her. Lauren Hemp, as I said before, it doesn't matter who you score your England goals against, never take away the emotion of scoring for your country. Bright, Walsh. The other thing to bear in mind is that Latvia really tired in the game in Riga. I think England have so much on the bench as well. Here's the one-touch football once more. Beth England sending it in. Break to somebody who had a night before half-time. Mead. Down the line it goes. Stanway. Corner kick. Siobhan, a quick sort of sum up of this first half from your point of view. Exactly what England were looking for. Exactly what Serena Wigman was looking for.
Brilliant. Clinical, ruthless, cutting edge. Good technical ability on show. And they've kept it going throughout the entire 45 minutes. The question now is, what changes can we make to keep it going throughout the second 45 and to maximise how many goals we can score?
Beth Mead with his corner for England into added time in the first half. Mead, who wants it? But Moy again there, just hanging in the back post. And the referee blows for half-time to save any more punishment. First half, well, the notable storyline really is that Ellen White has broken the England scoring record. 2 goals for her in the first half, a hat-trick for Beth Mead. To think that's not the top line is quite something. That's because there's been 2 goals for Lauren Hemp, and as well as a goal for Ella Toon as well. England with 8. How many more will they get in the second half? We'll find out after the break.
Well, Ellen White was looking for a record equalling goal and she got it. An absolute worldie there. And her second came just a few minutes after, which means she is now on 47 England goals. She is a record breaker, much to her delight and the delight to her teammates as well. Just confirmation there. She's overtook Kelly Smith, 46 goals. And she now sits top of the tree. An amazing, amazing effort to her. Congratulations to Ellen White, becoming England's all-time leading goal scorer. Wow, what a first half. I mean, so many goals to focus on, but really the story is Ellen breaking that record is quite incredible, Ian.
Yeah, and it's fantastic for her. People talk about the calibre of the opposition, but her journey to get to this point has been a tough one. And good luck to her that she's now finally got it. She's beaten a great goal scorer in Kelly Smith in getting there, but her doing that has highlighted Kelly Smith. But you know, you could maybe been offside for that one, but I think that she has to get credit for her consistency and what she's done for us in tournaments, and now she's having her day, so good luck to her.
What did you think there? Slight shade of offside, Anita?
She probably is offside for that one, but you know, she's still clinical in those moments. And you know, the first goal, striker's instinct to finish that, get it on target. Again, you know, arguably the keeper maybe could have got hands to it, but it's great to see her break the record, and you know, that's the sort of player Ellen is. Speaking
of being clinical, Beth Mead, she took 23 minutes to score a hat-trick in this game. I mean, she's off the pace a little because it was 14 minutes against Northern Ireland at Wembley. But amazing for her as well.
Yeah, great movement from her there. Obviously the defender doesn't see her coming, but what I liked about England and the way they started this particular game is when we saw them against North Macedonia, I thought it was very sloppy and they could have been a lot more clinical. They started this game very clinically and they punished them at every juncture that they could. Slipped off for a little bit for about 10-15 minutes, then we saw the next few goals, but I like the way they started. Very clinical, and Beth Mead, that's how she plays. Same with Laura Hemp. You're not getting no break from them two. They're playing at a really high level.
You mentioned Lauren Hemp there as well. Waited a while to get her first England goal. She got it tonight. She also got her second as well, Anita.
Oh yeah, fantastic for her. You know, she gets into such great positions, picks up the ball out wide here, drives inside, as we're used to seeing her, carries on her run into the box and gets a head on it. And it's a sort of goal that you don't always expect a player like Lauren Hemp, because of her dribbling ability, to score a goal like that. But she continues her run in the box and gets a head to it.
But what I liked about that first one, Anita, is the fact that against better opposition, that's the kind of movements you've got to be doing. So it's good to see her doing it in this kind of game, because you don't really need to make those kind of movements because the opposition are not so good, but she's doing it, and that's what she's got to do.
There was a little bit of reprieve for Latvia where England didn't score so many goals. What was happening for you in those moments, Anita?
Yeah, well, me and Ian discussed it. We felt that, you know, we started off sharp and bright and the ball tempo and speed was there, and then all of a sudden it dropped off, and it kind of has allowed Latvia actually to get a bit closer to players, and you know, we're making it slightly more easier for them.
What happens now at half-time if you're Serena Wiegman and you're looking, you think, oh, they did, we got a couple of goals after that, so they did sharpen up a little bit. Do you make changes? Do you bring other people on some fresh legs?
I'd like to see Beth Mead maybe resting now, because she's got a massive game coming up. I think that what you do now is, for me, you make a few changes. You know, get some people and have a look at some other people. I know that she's very much likes her core of people, players that she plays, but it would give other players the chance to know that I'm going to get a chance with her at some stage, because you'd like to see Jess Carter warming up there. She's getting her chance maybe, but that's what I'd like to see now.
It's potentially a frightening prospect for Latvia, Anita, because there are players on the bench that want their chance, like Ian was saying, and going to be hungry and want to get on the scoreboard.
Oh, absolutely. The likes of Katie Zeller and Jess Carter, Jordan Nobbs, as we've mentioned. A number of those players could come in and impact the game, and they'll be hungry. They want to prove to the manager that they've actually taken on board her principles during the course of the week.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, second half coming shortly, but incredibly, in this campaign, England have 11 different goal scorers. Lauren Hemp became the 11th. Surely more goals to come in the second half. Serena Wiegman must be chuffed with what she's seen so far. More still to come. Welcome back. We are in Doncaster, and let's have a look at the half-time scores in Group D. Luxembourg are losing 4-0 to Austria, and here the score is 8-0 between England and Latvia. Earlier on in the week, Northern Ireland beat North Macedonia 9-0, and a reminder as well, these games haven't kicked off yet, but we've got Spain taking on Scotland, France taking on Wales. Kick-off times are 8 and 8:10, and a reminder as well, Scotland and Wales both second in their group, facing off against the top teams in their group as well. Kick-off is coming very shortly here. A reminder as well, England's record win is 13-0. That was in 2005 against Hungary. A couple of changes tonight. Millie Bright off, Ella Toone off, Jess Carter comes on, and so does Jordan Nobbs, much to the delight of Ian Wright. Let's hand you over to your commentary team. Siobhan Chamberlain is alongside Seb Hutchinson.
So 2 changes for England, 2 changes for Latvia as well, including a change in goal. Skimanova is the new goalkeeper. But England, with all these goals on the board, 8 on the board for now. And Jess Carter, the Chelsea defender, is in that back 3. And Jordan Nobbs, great to see her back in an England shirt after her injury issues. She amongst the goals in the second half. Here is Nobbs. Greenwood, England able to turn and lay it off Nobbs. Link up, Beth Mead, Walsh, Nobbs, Walsh, and well held by one of the new players coming off in the second half. Elena Skimanova, changing goal for Latvia. Share the pain.
That'll do her confidence a world of good. Your first touch, nice clean catch. I'm sure she'll have plenty more difficult shots to face in this upcoming 45 minutes.
Greenwood hanging into the back post, across the face of goal. There's Hemp, and back in, and England, she just cannot find the net tonight.
Lovely delivery into the box from Alex Greenwood, whipped round, and the ball across just evaded everybody. Beth England, her head just seems to have this magnet that's taking the ball away from that post every single time. Surely it's just a matter of time before Beth England finds the back of the net tonight.
Incidentally, Latvia's other change, Selga Vitmore, the midfielder, who's only 19 years of age, for her debut. Here's Hemp. Back to Greenwood. Greenwood again. Walsh. Nobbs laying it off. Stanway looking to get on the ball as much as possible again in this second half after her 4 assists in the first half. Walsh, Greenwood. And Jess Carter, it's her 3rd cap. Walsh. White, and oh, it's found away through! And on a special night for Ellen White, it's got even better. A hat-trick for England's superstar striker. And we knew it was coming. Husband watching on, Callum Colbury. He'll be delighted. She'll be delighted. England closing in on 10.
Brilliant strike again from Ellen White. Another one from outside the box to add to that collection. A hat-trick, broken records, fantastic all-round performance. What a night for Ellen White.
And for so long there's been talk about this record. She'll be so pleased that she's actually beaten it now. All the talk can stop and she can just continue scoring goals. Interestingly, Serena keeping Ellen White on, keeping Beth Mead on. There's so many potential records that could be broken tonight. Walsh, room to pick her passes, and she certainly knows how to do that. Mead, up looking for Beth England. Latvia. Stanway. Running inside. Walsh. Mead. Waiting for a ball in the middle in that 6-yard box was Beth England again. Greenwood. Hemp. Oh, that's sharp. Lauren Hemp with a weaker foot as well. Cross-cup shot. They haven't cleared it though, Latvia. Nobbs back to England. Jordan Nobbs. Now Hemp. They take their time and Nobbs. And well held again by the goalkeeper. Good to see Jordan Nobbs back though.
Really good to see her back. She's a fantastic player. She struggled with injury to fight her way back into this squad. I think she gives England something slightly different. The energy, the dynamicness she gives the team.
And they're in again. Beth Mead looking for a fourth. Oh, she was brought down. Penalty. No doubts about that one. Tumane taking down. Beth Mead is going to get a yellow card as well. Certainly because she attempted the tackle. Who's going to take the spot kick?
Looks like it's going to be Georgia Stanway to try to add to 4 assists with a goal.
Yeah, one of the England players who's not got on the score sheet yet. Georgia Stanway has provided 4 goals for England tonight. Can she score one herself from the spots? The ball given to her by Ellen White as well. England and Stanway stepping up for 10. And once again, England score 10 against Latvia. And for the 3rd time in this qualification group, they hit double figures. Nobody can stop them on the road to Down Under.
The difference with this 10 is it's been hit with 40 minutes to go. It's frightening to think how many more goals England could get tonight.
Well, it takes you back to when the USA beat Thailand in the last World Cup 13-0. And there was some criticism of the American players for celebrating the goals, but why would you not celebrate scoring for your country?
Exactly, for these players, it doesn't matter who you're scoring against. Scoring for your country is an incredible achievement, and it's the emotion that comes to you. You want to celebrate, no matter who it's against, no matter what the score.
Here's him. Nobbs. She's one of those who hasn't scored for England at all. Walsh, Stanway. Mead. Slip through. Lead away. Mead. Sends it towards England. Hemp getting in there. She's another player who's on a hat-trick. Greenwood crosses it in, dropped by the goalkeeper. Walsh. Mead. Now Walsh. Stanway. Nobbs. Greenwood. Nobbs shifts it to Walsh. Walsh once more. Slides it in. Nice touch from White. You see England doing what Serena Wigman asked though. Being patient, scanning, looking for the space and the opportunity without the ball. Mead. Nobbs shifts it onto her right. Almost found the net.
Brilliant save from the goalkeeper here, tipping it round the post. She got so close to that effort from Ellen White that flew in. That's a very smart save from the keeper there.
everybody back inside their own penalty area for Latvia. Need to take the corner. Plays it short. As you like there from England. Meads. Stanway shrugs off the challenge. Oh, another first. Carter off the bench. Hugs all round once more. The Ducks are ending for so many England players, and the latest is Jess Carter with her first England goal.
A brilliant finish there from Jess Carter. You wouldn't think she was a centre-back with this composed finish. And once again, it's Georgia Stanway with the assist.
Well, we're losing count here on how many goals have been created by the Manchester City midfielder Georgia Stanway. Latvia trying to freshen things up as much as possible, but it's a chastening night for them. Giannis Gabrina, the latest to enter the fray for the visitors. A 10-0 defeat to England last time was their heaviest defeat in their history. That's been broken, with England adding an 11th here. There's so much time left, Siobhan. It's well over half an hour. This won't be the end of it.
It won't, and I think, was it Belgium midweek at the weekend that scored 19? Any chance England may surpass that tonight?
Closing in on their own record. Stanway, Knobs. Shot block there. Mead quickly out. England 2 away from their record victory. Equaling it. Walsh leaves it. Greenwood slips it into Stanway. Haven't got anywhere near her. Walsh. They're just watching the ball now, Latvia. Hemp. Can't have one out. And Cornella trying to relieve the pressure. Anna Cornella, who was only drafted into this squad at late notice. Her agent phoned up the manager and said she was eligible to play. Swedish heritage. She finds herself starting against one of the world's best sides. Knobs, incidentally, just quickly tying her shoelaces back to her feet now. Greenwood. Lovely ball floated in. Goalkeeper claim. Could have obviously said this about half an hour ago, but you feel like job is done for England in what Sarina Wiegman asked for.
I think you could have maybe said that 55 minutes ago. It's been relentless since the kickoff. Since those first 2 goals went in the first 5 minutes. It's been a fantastic performance, and one that Sarina Wiegman, I'm sure, will be very, very happy with.
Off she goes. Eases past the challenges, sends it in. England's in there. Then Mead and Beth England, the one England player who seems to find 3 or 4 players round her when she gets the ball. Double change coming up here for England. And Georgia Stanway should get a very warm round of applause. Fantastic creative display from her and a goal from the spot. And coming on, Jill Scott, just cap number 154 for the legendary midfielder. And off goes Ella White, who will go down in England history. She's in the record books already, and she gets a very warm reception from the Kimo Stadium. There's a smile for Ella White. She has been a big player for England for the past decade, and here's one for England's future and present. Alessia Russo, Manchester United striker, looking to get on the end of this corner as well. They've just evaded Jill Scott. Would have been some impact. Greenwood. Russo, bit between her teeth. Bullish striker. Hemp. Russo, already looking to get going. Just a challenge in, but have to go somewhere in to stop Alessia Russo when she builds up a head of steam. Greenwood. They can't stop her. Back to Walsh. Carter. Greenwood. Plenty to aim for, including England! And she finally gets her goal. The dozen up for the Lionesses, doing the business in Donny. And the one player who we thought might never score tonight does get on the score sheet. Finally, Beth England.
It's taken her an hour, but she won't care how long it takes. She saw the relief on her face in the celebration. A great headed goal, one that we've come to recognise from Beth England. She's great in the air. Hasn't quite managed it so far tonight, but finally, one in the back of the net.
England have already broken the record for the number of goals scored at home. They're now one away from their record overall. Greenwood. And they've got this part of half an hour to find that record equaling 13th goal. Here's Mead. And still Mead, looking for her fourth. And that was the thought in her mind, with options to her left. Walsh. Jill Scott. Moy. Greenwood. Walsh. Now Scott. Tried the little reverse ball, still finds Mead anyway. Stings the goalkeeper's palms. Here's Hemp. They're not letting up at all, England. Russo. Greenwood. Tried that at diagonal again. Oh, that's instant control from England. But couldn't find the corner.
Tidy control and turn, but yeah, the finish just evaded Beth England this time. But once again, it's Alex Greenwood who's seen fantastic deliveries from this left side. We're used to seeing her playing a little bit higher up the pitch when she plays in her normal position at left back. She's more of a centre back now, but with her being higher up the pitch today, you can see the quality that she's got in that left foot. How she delivers a ball and picks players out in the box is absolutely brilliant.
Greenwood switches it out to Mead. Like the one-touch pass inside to Jill Scott. Before this qualification campaign, the best side that Latvia had ever faced was Sweden. It's a high level of opposition than they're used to. Greenwood. Out it goes to him. Hemp. Sends it in again towards that near post. Greenwood again, who's seen so much of the ball. She looks for that diagonal again, causing all sorts of problems. Mead. Jill Scott. Moy. Walking into that penalty area. Mead pulls it back. England has a shot. Might come back to Mead. It's a corner. But even the old Pomo, the diagonal ball position of maximum opportunity, paying off for England as well.
I'm going to simplify things here because you confused even me with that one there. But the goalkeeper, we'll go back to the goalkeeper. She's made some great saves since she's come on. She's only come on at half time. Come on in that scoreline is something. She's done well.
Corner towards Moy. Has found its way to Jill Scott at the back post. Just cannot get out. Greenwood. Nice ball towards the near post, attacked by him, who unbelievably, maybe believably, the way this game is going, is on a hat-trick herself, having not scored for England before this game. Greenwood. Slipping it into Scott. Stretching for that, Jill Scott just won it. Greenwood. Knobs. Mead onto Scott. Mead again. Carter. There's no doubt about it. England have been told to keep on going, keep looking for goals. Knobs. They thought that would run out Latvia, and Russo's not sleeping. Hemp. Drop back to Knobs. Beautifully brought down by Jordan Knobs. Knobs again, Russo. Hemp. Whatever England do, Latvia cannot deal with it. Carter. Scott. Now Walsh. Still Walsh. Trying to take on 3 or 4 Latvian players there. The temptation was there. Walsh. England. Just getting deeper and deeper in this half, Latvia. Greenwood, Sefton, and Jill Scott. A record equaling 13th goal for England. They are not letting up at all. Just what Serena Wigman ordered.
Great to see Jill Scott on the score sheet again. She's got so many caps for England. She's so reliable, and once again providing when asked of. Don't normally see her scoring too many headers, regardless of her height. But there, great header from her at that back post.
Yeah, well, Jill Scott, goal number 25 for her. Cap 154. Weeks are on for Latvia, but at the moment, they cannot get their foot on the ball. They're dropping off. You can't even say damage limitations. Damage has been done. Hard work out there for them. Boy. Mead. Carter. Greenwood. Hemp. Carter. Good Russo sent it in. England. Will she get the record-breaking goal? Will it be Mead, perhaps? Hacked away. One of these players will make another piece of England history if England do get goal number 14. And we're usually in these sort of scenarios, we do see teams just taking their foot off the ball, foot off the gas, thinking ahead to next games, just trying to give themselves an opportunity to maybe get a breather. England aren't doing that. Katie Zellen is going to come on shortly for her debut, it seems. We'll see how pleased she was about that. Greenwood. Knobs. Greenwood again. Back to Carter. Moy to Scott. Mead. She won't want to come off. Greenwood. Walsh. Greenwood. Walsh. Russo. Russo gets going in towards England. They haven't cleared it yet. Knobs. Walsh. Slipping it through and hacked away. Straight to a white shirt again, Mead. It's relentless. It's Russo. It's a corner. And Siobhan, you played in that 13-0, didn't you, against Hungary?
I did. So as much as I'd love to see loads more goals, keeping it at 13 and keeping myself as that little part of history might be quite nice as well. I honestly can't see that happening though.
So much time left. And Kira Walsh is coming off. And look how pleased she is for Katie Zellem, because she finally gets that first cap, and that's how much it means to her as well. She's running across to give the captain's armband to Alex Greenwood. Manchester United captain on the field. In goes the corner. Oh! Well, it's just a night of firsts. And Alessia Russo off the bench to add the goal that makes it 14-0 for England. Their biggest ever scoreline against an opponent at international level.
Another brilliant delivery from Beth Mead. And what a time to score your first goal for England. That record-breaking goal, taking it to 14. And I'm sure the first of many for Alessia Russo.
So we no longer talk about that Hungary game. Sorry, Siobhan. We'll now be talking about this Latvia game. Whether it'll be 14 at the end, who knows? Unlikely. And the crowd cheers because Mary Earps has touched the ball. Her first piece of action tonight. Serena Wigman smiled at that cheer from the crowd. Greenwood. Zellem. Over Moy. Escarta. Greenwood. Russo. Zellem. Greenwood linking up here. No foul. That's flags up in any case. And obviously before this game we would have predicted that England were going to win this game comfortably, but it still is an impressive performance to score the number of goals they have in the time that they have.
It is. It's been ruthless and it's been clinical, and I think that's what's been missing from England's performances under Serena Wigman so far. Yes, they've scored goals and they've got good results, but that clinicalness, that ruthlessness that you need to win tournaments. Yes, I'm not getting carried away with it being Latvia, but you need that to be able to go that one step further when you're playing in tournament football.
And of course, the sort of challenge that Latvia were expecting against England. Their coach had stated he knew the job that they had on their hands. He hoped they'd learned a thing or two from the first game. Those were his words before this game. Greenwood. Zellem. Towards Russo. Zellem again. Of touches, ball goes in towards Russo, and somehow she doesn't get a second.
A lovely delivery in from Katie Zellem. A Manchester United connection going on there, and Alessia Russo, I'm not sure how she managed to miss that, how that hit the crossbar. Great delivery from Zellem.
Sure, she'll get another chance sooner rather than later. In goes the corner, and England trying to help that one on. But the manner, the body language of the England players, they are not letting up at all.
They're not, and I think Serena Wigman's comments about the strength and depth of the team really shows here, because they know that they can't rest on their laurels. They know they've got players chomping at the bit to get on the pitch and take their places.
One of them is Russo winning it back for England. Greenwood, Mead finding herself out on the left-hand side now. Left-footed cross as well, palmed away by the goalkeeper. It's interesting that the Latvia manager changed the goalkeeper at half-time. Another big cheer for Mary Earps. Over Moy. Michael Scott. Those in attendance tonight at the Keepmoat Stadium would have wanted to be entertained by England. certainly seen their side put on a show. Greenwood. Zellum. Quickly win it back though. Knobs. Tiring stuff for Latvia, who completely dropped back in this second half. The back six as well. Stopped England cutting through. Lauren Hemp. So difficult to stop! Oh! Another hat-trick tonight! And Lauren Hemp, I think she lost count there. 15 for England. Another hat-trick scorer tonight as well.
Brilliant, just brilliant from Lauren Hemp. It's what we've come to expect from her. Quality week in, week out. Just drives in on that left foot, opens up the goal and unleashes an unstoppable shot into that top corner. Absolutely brilliant.
We know Lauren Hemp in full flight is difficult for any defence to stop. So Latvia had no chance. And having not scored for England before this game, she now has 3 for England. Hurt herself in the process, but that was earlier, before she scored the goal. Still got on with it and still smashed it into the net. A rare moment where Latvia cross into the England half. That's offside. Not to be there for Manaseva, who's one of the 2 Latvian players to score in this qualification campaign. Scored against North Macedonia. And there's their manager, Ravchos. He will nevertheless be disappointed with his scoreline. He knew it would be a big scoreline. Sliding through, nobody was there. Well, Belgium scored 19 in their qualifying game against Armenia. And England added 4 of their goals in the closing stages against Latvia last time. What about this for a run from Tumani though? Plays it inside, looking to link up. That took a lot out of Tumani. And head drops, she's got to run back now. Zellum wasn't intended recipient in Knobs, but they're so deep now, Latvia, that they don't have to try too hard to find a teammate on a square pass. Zellum. Mead. Hemp. Goes.
An interesting one for you. I don't know if you know the answer to this, Seb.
I won't.
When Walsh went off, Alex Greenwood took the captaincy. I think that's 4 England captains we've had tonight. Has there ever been any more than that? One for the.
There's certainly been more than 4 in the history.
4 in one evening. One for the women's football historians out there.
Greenwood diagonal. They're not done tonight. We might get more captains. Feels like we're certainly going to get more goals. Knobs. Will that find its way through? It does! Jordan Knobs back playing for England. And back amongst the goals. The Arsenal midfielder makes her mark on what is a huge scoreline for the Lionesses.
An assist to add in for Alex Greenwood, a great touch, a great turn from Jordan Knobs, and doing what she does best, finding that bottom corner. And I'm sure someone in the punditry studio will be very pleased about that at the end of the game.
Possibly know who you mean. But the Arsenal star Jordan Knobs making it a sweet 16. Mead sends it in, Russo! Oh, 17! I hope you're still counting. Alessia Russo adding to her tally tonight, and from the bench.
Such a clever run from Russo as well. She checked her run. It wasn't just a simple run into the box. Checked her run across the defender, made it so hard for her to pick her up. A brilliant header down into the ground, leaving the goalkeeper with no chance. And it could be another hat-trick on the way as well.
And it doesn't matter how many goals England have scored tonight, every one of them greeted with delight. Oh, miscue, and Russo, is this a hat-trick? It is! Well, goodness me, it's 18, another hat-trick for England tonight. Quite extraordinary. And the latest, Alessia Russo.
And a hat-trick of headers to add to that. 3 with the head. Her first 3 goals for England. What an occasion for the young centre-forward.
The 4th hat-trick tonight. 4 hat-tricks in one game on a record-breaking night for England. That in itself is a record, no surprise there, with England having scored 18 goals. The record for any senior England side was 13. For the men or the women, that's been blown away. Hat-trick for Beth Mead, a hat-trick for Ellen White, a hat-trick for Lauren Hemp, a hat-trick for Alessia Russo of Manchester United. Knobs. Zellum gets it back. What about her to get a goal? And well, at the moment we're just looking round and seeing who hasn't scored for England. Katie Zellum's one of them.
She saw the space open up for her. She likes a shot from distance. She's good at set pieces. She saw her moment, but unfortunately couldn't quite pick out the corners. A little bit too easy for the goalkeeper there.
Here's Jess Carter. Of course, all the statisticians, all the history book writers be scribbling new pages to the record books. As far as we're concerned, Siobhan, we've just got to keep our eye on the game, because England, with wave after wave of attack, and there's him right for the spectacular. And there are still a few players on this pitch who could score 4 tonight.
There is, and there's plenty of time even for
England goal, and Beth England gets her second, and she'll smell a hat-trick now. And we have to say, if you're an England fan, you cannot not enjoy this.
You can't. A tidy finish for Beth England. She's worked tirelessly throughout this match. Hasn't had that little rub of the green that's got her that hat-trick so far. It sounds bizarre saying hasn't got her a hat-trick. She scored a goal. She scored 2 goals for England. It's an incredible achievement, but on a night when there's so many goals, she'll definitely be eyeing up that 3rd.
Well, there are some exhausted Latvia players out there, both physically and emotionally. There's not really much the manager can say to those who come on. Schenko the latest, and look at that scoreboard. They've equalled what Belgium did last week. Will they surpass it? Tamane. Jill Scott gets a foot in. And him. There's no Ole football from England here. There's no just keeping the ball and whittling the time down. They keep on coming forward. Here's Greenwood. Greenwood. Nobbs. Out it goes to Mead. Mead whips it in. Lovely ball towards England. Oh, she was close there to getting her third.
Beth Mead going from right to left, utilising both sides of the pitch. Beth England and then Lauren Hemp coming in at the far post. Neither could quite make the connection.
Been waiting to ask you, Siobhan, about your memories of playing at this stadium, but it can wait because England's flooding forward again. Hemp glides into the penalty area. England flashes it off target.
Are we going to talk about this Beth England chance, or do we want to talk about my memory? I think it's only fair to talk about the Beth England chance. It was actually Latvia's 16 that was trying to go for an own goal. I think she felt she wanted to get in on the act.
Yes, it is a corner. Maybe there is the chance for the hat-trick here. Low one whipped in. On the turn! Oh, quite squeeze in. Lauren Hemp, so close to her fourth.
It would only be fair for her to lay it off for Beth England. Although, given the Wembley situation where Beth England stole her goal at the far post, I don't think there'll be much of that going on tonight.
Well, you can tell she's got the bit between her teeth. England's young star. Zellen. Up on that corner, Scott going up. Who will it drop to? Oh! Well, Lauren Hemp, 4 for England's young superstar. Not much in the celebration because of the incredible scoreline, but Lauren Hemp, having not scored for England before this game, just the 4 goals tonight.
We said at the beginning of the game that we thought that she'd have to open her England account tonight. Didn't necessarily think she'd get 4. It just shows the talent that this player has. She's got the world at her feet.
And England have 20 goals. Zellen. Greenwood. Hemp. Hemp again, eyeing up her 5th. Loose to Nobbs there to criticise Lauren Hemp at all. Russo. Mead. Mead. They're skipping past challenges at will. They're finding space at will. They're finding goals at will. We're into the 90th minute, and they're not done. Fancy here. Surely the officials aren't going to add any additional time beyond the usual 2 or 3. Carter. Greenwood. Mead. Cleared away. Siobhan, we're not going to get much added time. Just wondering over your final thoughts. May still be more goals, we'll see.
I think there will be more goals. There's definitely going to be one in this added time. England have made a habit of it so far. I think for me, I'm excited for February. I'm excited to see the team challenge themselves against some of the best teams in the world.
They've been so clinical tonight, England. Mead. 3 more minutes for Latvia to endure. And England found a couple of goals in Riga in this time. If England can find one more goal, they'll equal the record for women's internationals. Hemp, head down, driving forward. Who will it fall to? Packed away. Another chance to sit it in. Moy. England's in there. Pushed away by the goalkeeper. Scott. Mead. She's looking for 4. England. Just toe poked away. Ball sent in. Edge of the box. Greenwood. Zelen. Scott moves it wide. Hemp. Ping it in. Still 2 minutes. Scott. Now Hemp again. It's as if England know they could equal a record here. They're not seeing out the seconds. They're looking for more. Played in. England! Oh. A right smile from Beth England. Because she's one of those who hasn't got a hat-trick, and she'll probably be disappointed by that.
She will be, and that was so close. Yet another header from her. Great movement and a great ball in from Beth Mead. That Beth Mead, Beth England connection working well again tonight.
Everything's worked so well tonight. Lauren Hemp with that goal, first player to score 4 goals for England in a World Cup qualifier. She used to get a 5th, that would equal a record as well. 1 more minute left. But mercy, the referee won't add any more, you'd fancy. Here's Nobbs. Still has it. Out of play it goes. Carter. Greenwood. Moy. To move this quickly, England, if they to create another chance. Greenwood. Nobbs. Now Mead. Plenty waiting for the cross, he doesn't come in. A headline, scoreline. Another big win for Serena of England's women. And a huge one, a record-breaking night on so many levels for the Lionesses. A hat-trick for Ellen White, breaking the all-time England scoring record. Lauren Hemp with 4 goals, would you believe? Her first 4 goals for England. Beth Mead, another hat-trick in this qualification campaign for her. Alessia Russo off the bench, her first 3 goals for England. The goals kept coming, they were shared around as well. A keepsake for the keep moot. An extraordinary night for England, putting Latvia to the sword and winning by 20, yes 20 goals to 0.
A quite incredible night here in Doncaster. 10 different goal scorers for England tonight. 4 hat-tricks in there. Records have been smashed. Absolutely ruthless from England. This is exactly what Serena Wiegmann was after. The first time round it was 10-0. They've doubled that score. Anita Asante alongside me, Ian Wright. I mean, the celebrations, you can see how much it means to this England side. Ian, what did you make of that performance?
Very ruthless performance. The manager asked for ruthlessness. She wanted goals, and she certainly got them. I thought that England were very good. I remember, like I said, against North Macedonia, you've got to be ruthless simply because when you play better opposition, you have to be in the mindset, and they very much were. You have to feel for Latvia, the disparity obviously in the quality, because they've got 4 of their players couldn't come in simply because of work. We can't ignore that sort of stuff, but at the same time, England did what they needed to do.
Yeah, England were, like Ian said, ruthless. You know, the quality of the deliveries were consistent, which allowed those attacking players to connect and score really quality finishes. But you know, it's really tough because Latvia, there is a massive disparity in the quality, as we know. But England were professional, you know, from the minute, from kick-off until the end.
I'm glad you mentioned that because we know that there is a golfing class between these two sides.
Yeah.
But Ian, if you just focus on what England are doing and the improvement that we've seen just in this campaign, it's vast.
It is vast, because like I said, from the time played North Macedonia to now, there is a ruthlessness about them. There was a professionalism and a drive and an intensity that was frighteningly ruthless, if we're going to be totally honest. They absolutely put them to the sword. That's what the manager wanted, and that's what they've done.
England now will be working towards the next round of fixtures. We're going to see them again in February where they come up against much tougher opposition, but she can take so much heart from what she's seen tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, she has said for herself the principle she wants to instill in this team is speed of play, intensity, the movement behind the line. And today they really demonstrated that, you know, and they got back to what they're good at, stretching the pitch, getting runners in behind, quality deliveries in the box and scoring a number of goals. And that's what you're going to want to see against tough opposition.
Ellen White there, you can see, I mean, it's quite incredible really that we've got to this stage of the show with us talking without even mentioning that she's now a record breaker, because there's been so many goals since here.
Yeah, there has, but we can't ignore it because of how great she has been. And what she's done tonight, obviously it gets a bit lost in 20 goals, but you know, they were easy for her tonight, but what she's done leading up to this has not been very easy. You know, the amount of goals she's scored in top competitions for us. So I'm glad it's done for her now, so she can carry on, go back to Man City, see if she could get her form going there as well. And then when we get to the Euros, then she can start kicking in again, scoring goals when they really matter, especially when this new competition was coming up. We want to see how we play in that, because that's important.
Lauren Hemp as well, 4 goals. That's never been done in a Women's World Cup qualifying campaign. It's amazing. She was waiting and waiting and she got goal.
I know, that's all we kept talking about, is when is Lauren going to get her goals?
She probably heard us. Come on, guys.
I think we manifested it, and, you know, to score 4 goals in the end, phenomenal, you know, and the 4th one was exceptional. And I think, you know, like we discussed, her movement was top quality, and that's the kind of movement we want to see against top opposition in the coming months.
Yeah, there's obviously a great vibe between these players. Ellen White there breaking a record. Mary Earps barely even touching the ball tonight. It's a very different game. So look, we'll get lots more analysis and reaction to all of those goals straight after this break. A huge 20-0 win for England against Latvia today, and that woman there, Ellen White, with a hat-trick. Not just any old hat-trick though, reaching 48 goals for her country, which is breaking the biggest record for the most goals scored by any woman, and I'm so delighted for her because it took a while to get there, but she's broken that record. You can see it there. And it also means that 20-0 win does this to the table. England were top before the game started. They remain in that position. But look at this goal difference. 53 goals scored, none conceded. They're sitting pretty at the top there. And the other results today as well, Luxembourg, they lost 8-0 to Austria. Northern Ireland, they beat North Macedonia 9-0. That was yesterday. So that wraps up Group D until much later on. In fact, next year we'll revisit the World Cup qualifiers. Why don't we hear from Ellen White, who is the record breaker, a hat-trick scorer today as well. She's with Katie Shanahan.
Ellen, you've done it. You're England's all-time leading goal scorer. How good does that sound?
I actually feel really emotional about it. I was just saying to our media, yeah, I feel really emotional about it. It's been spoken about for a long time. And yeah, I feel very proud, obviously, but I feel really proud of the girls tonight because we've got some of the girls that scored their first goals for England, and the pride I feel for them, how much I love scoring for England, but seeing them score, they're coming through now. So yeah, I feel really proud.
If someone had told that schoolgirl from Aylesbury that she'd be England's top goal scorer, what would you have said?
I'd say you're having a laugh, to be honest. Yeah, it's incredible, to be honest. I feel really lucky. I've had amazing support from my family, my friends, my coaches, my teammates, staff. But I'm not stopping here. I still want to keep going. I still want to score goals for England. But yeah, I feel really proud.
And Kelly Smith said she'd call you when you broke the record. How much do you look up to her?
So much. You know, it's been spoken about a lot, about breaking this record, going above Kelly Smith. But to me, she's a legend. I have so much love and respect for her. I feel very lucky that I was played alongside her, was her teammate, so she'll always be the best for me.
And finally, what's the next target for you? Golden Boot at the Home Euros next year?
I never say out loud goals or anything like that. For me, I just want to play well, be selected, and help the team do whatever we can to make the crowd and make England proud, to be honest. So yeah, we'll just try and enjoy it.
Thanks, Ellen. Congratulations. I'm sure you're going to go back to a very busy phone.
Thank you.
It is going to be a very busy phone. Can you imagine it? Ellen White there breaking a record. In terms of how she got there, a hat-trick, and it didn't take her long actually to get on the score sheet, and she kept going after that, Ian.
Yeah, she did, like you'd expect her to do. You know, the fact is, we know, like the goalkeepers, we wouldn't say she's the greatest. That one was a very difficult one for the keeper because it's gone in off the bar. People might say that it's in the middle, but it's gone in off the bar. She'd have to have got across there. This one you'd have said could have called it offside, probably VAR in the league game. That might have been, I've seen them given, but you can see the joy in her face. And again, we've seen her score goals that she don't normally score in respect of outside the box, taking her shot. Again, a goalkeeper maybe could have done better, but like I said, I'm not going to take anything away from Ellen White and what she's done, because the road that she's trodden to get to here gives her the opportunity to play in a game like this to get that record. And like she said, she's not stopping there.
And Kelly Smith, really, we should give a nod to, because it's people like Kelly Smith that have paved the way for people like Ellen White.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Ellen respects Kelly highly, and she wanted to emulate this record and go one step further, and she's demonstrated that today. And we all know how quality Kelly Smith is. I also had the privilege of playing with her, so to see Ellen actually go that one step further is really great, and it's going to just inspire the next generation to want to break records as well.
Talking of breaking records, Jill Scott equalled the record first of all. That was 13-0. This is the record that was set in 2005, the biggest victory, and this was actually by England's men, and that was against Hungary, and it was 13-0.
Right.
So Jill Scott equalled it with this one.
Well, she's somebody that is very integral to this squad. Someone that the manager loves. And then I was quite pleased with Alessia Russo, because I want to see her get her chance. I want her to get a run in the team. I want her to. We know what Ellen White can do. But Alessia Russo needs a chance. Emily Salmon needs a chance. It's good to see Bethany England in there scoring goals, because we're going to need those players to step up as well. It's good to see them get their goals in this game, to get them off the running, get them off the mark.
Alessia Russo as well, first England goal. She was the one actually that got England over the line to break that record, and then went on to get a hat-trick as well. What a night.
Yeah, in a short succession of time as well. And I think with Alessia Russo, what I liked is just how sharp she is, how dominant she is, and her anticipation was really good in and around the box, and she really deserved to get those goals tonight.
Lauren Hemp as well, we spoke about this earlier on, finally got her first goal, and Ian, I know that you were saying, look, it doesn't matter about goals, I don't need to see that from her. She went and got 4.
Yeah, well, the thing what you see with Lauren Hemp and what she's done for Man City, the Man City side that have not been great this season, but she has. She's not dropped her levels. When you look at her movement and the sharpness in what she was doing today against a very inferior team in respect of her ability, it was all top draw stuff. Again, you think to yourself, yeah, she's taking people on and it's gone in the middle of the goal, goalkeeper must be tired, but she's done it. She's not dropped her levels in the way she's played. She hasn't been taking the mickey. She's gone through, she's done everything with precision and intensity and class, and that's what you've got to do, because when she steps up, she'll be already there.
I like the way that Ellen White was obviously very proud of herself and emotional, but also wanted to give that nod to the players that got their first goals, because it doesn't matter the opponent. When you get your first England goal, it's very special.
Yeah, definitely. And Ellen, she is that kind of leader, experienced player, and she knows how much it means to her, and she wants the other players to also experience that. And you heard in her talk how much it meant to her, but how proud she was of this whole squad and what they were able to do today, especially the girls that scored their very first goal for England.
Okay, well, we are going to hear from the manager just after the break, and probably a little bit more on those hat-trick scorers, because how are they going to share out the match balls? Surely, with 4 hat-trick scorers, they've got to have a ball each, haven't they? We'll hear more analysis, more reaction after the break. So England wrap up this game 20-0. Beth Mead on the score sheet, she got a hat-trick in there as well. Ellen White broke a record, 6 wins out of 6 for England in this World Cup qualifying campaign. 12,000 or so came here to watch, absolutely delighted with the amount of action that they saw tonight and the amount of goals. Russo there with a hat-trick too. Let's get to speaking to the manager now, because Serena Wiegmann is with Katie Shanahan.
Serena, a record amount of goals tonight as Ellen White becomes England's all-time leading goal scorer. How proud are you of what she's achieved?
Yeah, of course, very proud. I've just now experienced with her the last period, but she's just a tremendous career, of course. But I think, again, this was such a team performance. We just kept on going, and so many records have been broken tonight.
They certainly have 4 hat-tricks. How impressed were you with how ruthless England were tonight?
Yeah, of course the opponent wasn't very good. The difference was so big in level, but still you have to make the game yourself. And you have to speed up the game all the time. You have to stay in shape, make the right decisions, be tight on the ball. And I think we did so well, and we just kept on going. The energy kept, the energy just stayed in the team for the whole game, and I think that's really impressive.
20 goals, 85% possession. What can you honestly take away from a game like this?
Yeah, well, that if you obviously this is not going to be anything near what we're going to expect in February or at the Euros, of course. But still, in these games, keep your shape, keep doing all the things well, keep it simple, and then you can score 20 goals.
And finally, 6 wins in 6.
Okay, there we go. That was Serena Wiegman speaking to Katie there. I mean, quite interesting what she was saying, because look, she's not looking at a different game to all of us. She knows that this opponent's completely different. Yeah. What have you made of the job that she's done in the games that we've seen her? I
like the way she's sharpened us up in the way we're thinking. It's like what she's saying now. You have 20 goals. It sounds like amazing. It is amazing. It's not easy to do, to keep that concentrated and to stay that discipline in what you're doing. And yes, the opponent is inferior, but at the same time, we've got to do the right things, because we've got a competition coming up in February where we're going to those right things that have to be in play by the time that comes around. So I thought that the way they dealt with that today was magnificent. You know, we know about the opponents, but they've done everything what the manager asked them to do tonight.
Spain, Germany, Canada, those are the teams that England are going to be coming up against in February. A very different prospect. But what you've seen from them in this qualifying campaign, what do you expect they're going to do against those teams?
Well, the most important thing is that they build team spirit and they understand, how they want to play, their identity. And Serena Wiegman's given them that kind of discipline in the game. And if they can apply the same discipline and the ability to keep going, keep doing the right things, keep making the right decisions against those teams, then hopefully that will prove to give them some success.
Because you've got to be a bit nasty, really, and haven't you? And you've got to take those chances, which we didn't see when we were opening up these campaigns.
No, we didn't see that, but we're seeing it now. The main thing is that when we are tested, because obviously I haven't seen how we react when we're under a bit of pressure. I want to see what we're going to do about our midfield. You know what I mean? We need to be ruthless against teams where they're attacking us, and we need to be ruthless to score that goal and then be able to contain. Those are the things I'm looking for now. What I've seen tonight is that we can be ruthless when it comes, but what I want to see is how we react when we're under pressure.
Getting that goal as well, your first goal for England, and getting a sense of togetherness with this team, how important is that to creating a good atmosphere in a camp where you want to go and win bigger games against bigger teams?
Super important, because it gives confidence for individuals, but collectively as a team to get on that winning trajectory, and that momentum only carries that belief as well. And going into a major tournament, that's what you want in a squad.
Ellen White, we should really give the last word to her, really, because she's now a record breaker, and she did it in some style today. Yeah,
she did, in a game that will be remembered for the amount of goals we scored, but at the same time, like I say, I can't take anything away from her. I don't care the calibre of the opponent, because what she's done for this country and Great Britain in respect to the Olympics is magnificent. She deserves her night, and like she said, she's not stopping here. Good luck to her.
You guys have been excellent company. Thank you so much.
Cheers,
looking forward to seeing you guys next time round.
Cheers,
Thanks for watching as well. A bit of horse racing coming up for you. A double bill this weekend, including the Grade 1 Tingle Creek from Sandown Park and the Beecher Chase over the Grand National Fences at Aintree. You can join Ed Chamberlain and the team from 1:25 on Friday and 1:15 on Saturday. And the opening show starts your day off at 9:30. All of that on ITV4. And on Friday evening, it's the first of 4 matches in the second round of the FA Cup between Gateshead and Charlton Athletic at 7 p.m. on ITV4. And then on Sunday, Rochdale play Plymouth Argyle at 11:30 on ITV. And Salford City are up against Chesterfield at 4:30 on ITV4. Then on Monday, Boreham Wood face St Albans City. And in that show, we'll also have the draw for the third round in the build-up, so make sure you tune in at 6:45 on ITV. Well, a 100% record for England as they head towards World Cup qualification. And there's a bit of a break now, but we will see you again in February when the Lionesses face much sterner competition. Thank you for watching. See you later.